Guys, welcome into the official college football week 5 computer simulation where we find the best overall values to bet on based on the computer model. These are the full week 5 predictions, and of course we're looking for that dark yellow where the computer model really disagrees with the overall spread. That's potentially where we could make money. And the first thing we really do, number one, I want to point this out. The Houston-Tulane, this is a Friday night game at 7 o'clock. I agree with the AI. I really like the over. They've got the over going by 6 points. I agree. That was not in one of my best bets, but I like that. It's going to be higher scoring. Tulane, Houston. They've got an offense that can score. I know they haven't been good this year, but I still feel with a veteran quarterback, they're going to score some, maybe a higher scoring close game. You can see it's going to be competitive. Houston, a 2.5-point favorite. I also like Houston straight up on the money line in that game as well, if you guys were looking to do like a Friday night parlay or something like that. The first big one though, guys, and yes, the AI is just like me. We trust Chip Kelly. Guys, Chip Kelly gets my full endorsement. He's so impressive. And you can see, UCLA 3.5-point underdogs at home in the Rose Bowl on a Friday night. It's crazy value. The AI agrees with me. They actually have UCLA winning this game by 3 points outright, with a total spread difference of 7.2, and then they also love the under. That is a really high over-under, 64.5. Personally, I wouldn't touch it, but I understand. That struck me as a little crazy. UCLA, Washington. I know Washington scores a lot, but 64.5 for, I would have thought it would have been like 59 or 60, but they put the over-under at 60.5. Just one quick thing I wanted to talk about, this Illinois-Washington game. Now, this particular analytical model doesn't really have a say on the over-under, but guys, there have been several major analytical models that love the under in Washington, Illinois, the under 42 now. They still love the under 42. It's been bet down. I understand why. I think that's a good bet. Wisconsin, Illinois. Did I say Washington? I meant Wisconsin, Illinois. Wisconsin, they run the ball. They can't throw. Illinois is good on defense. This is an 11 a.m. Central start time. Very low scoring in this one. This is a situation where Vegas doesn't correct fast enough and you get good value, kind of like Iowa in week 2, where we all knew Iowa's offense was terrible, but they still set the rivalry Iowa State over-under at like 43. Everyone knew it was going to be under. The over-under in this game should be like 38 or 39. They've got it right now. I believe it's 42 because it opened at 44, but it's been bet down. I still would take the under in that one. Georgia State, Army. Wow, they have that game going over. That's shocking to me. But just looking at other ones, so it looks like they like Boston College here. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I would not bet on Boston College right now. They love the over in Air Force and Navy by 10 points. So obviously both these teams run heavy. The over-under set at 37.5. I really don't have an opinion on that. They like the under in Oklahoma at TCU. I disagree with that personally. They like Texas State to cover against James Madison. I understand why that line is like that. A lot of us are banking on James Madison. They've had a lot of momentum. We're just riding that wave, but I understand why they have that. Other big games, it looks like they like the... Yes, I agree with the AI. The over in Bowling Green, Akron. Both of these teams suck. Both of their defenses suck. The quarterbacks have a little bit of talent. They can make plays. This is going to be like a 31-28. They've got it at 31-26. So I'm basically a computer, folks. I'm like the AI. We are synced right now. That is amazing. Other games they really like. So I'm going to say they do like Rutgers to cover pretty easily against Ohio State. There's a discrepancy. And this happens in the NFL with Buffalo, the Buffalo Bills, and college football with the Ohio State Buckeyes. When really good offenses get run through a computer model, there's like a lag. It doesn't really compute. And, they're saying that Rutgers is technically good value, plus 41 right now, or plus 40 if it's been bet down. The way I can explain it, the general public and Vegas knows Ohio State's offense is so good. The fact that Rutgers' defense has graded out well, according to the AI, Vegas really doesn't care. Because we think Ohio State's offense is so good, they're going to drop 48, 52 points, whatever, against Rutgers just because Ohio State's offense is that much better than Rutgers' defense. So, technically, you take Rutgers plus 40 or plus 41, you're getting good value on paper, but you do have to understand the models tend to not understand how to grade explosive offenses. It's the same thing with the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are 3.5-point favorites right now in Baltimore. The models love Baltimore to win that game outright because, Buffalo has like the best offense in the NFL. It's a very similar thing. And you can see it has Ohio State scoring 42 points. Will Ohio State only score 42 points? I find that hard to believe. I do. Maybe. They struggled against Notre Dame. I don't know. I would say maybe steer clear of that Ohio State game, but they have covered 2 straight times. They also like the under 59.5. If Rutgers doesn't score, I guess. If Rutgers doesn't score. They love the under in the UCF SMU game. The under 65, I would not agree with that. But I wouldn't bet it either way. Other games, they like the under in the FAU North Texas game. The under by 8 points. Wow. They love the under. I agree with this. The under in the Cal at Washington State game. It's only set at 53, but they do like the under. Washington State at home. California has been scoring, although they didn't score against Notre Dame. Last week they had an offensive explosion. I think this is going to be more low scoring. They've got it at 23-19. I think Washington State covers that spread. I really do. I like Washington State. They like the over in the Liberty Old Dominion game. The over-under is 44 in that. That seems like good value for the over. I agree. They like the over in the LSU Auburn game. I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole. The only way I'm betting Auburn is on the under. I will say I saw a crazy computer model that had Auburn winning this game outright. I don't trust it. But I will say there might be a little bit of value in Auburn plus 8. I'm not betting it, but I'm just saying, looks like they like the under in Troy and Western Kentucky. I love Western Kentucky to cover this, and so do they. They have Western Kentucky covering, winning by 11 points. Western Kentucky minus 6 is great value, and I think the line is still 6. Do they have Georgia covering? Wow, they don't. So they have Georgia winning by 22 points. I disagree with that. I think Georgia wins this game 49-7. Other games, you can see the huge discrepancies down here. Looks like the over in Duke, Virginia. So unfortunately, it looks like I have the over in this game. It looks like the Hurricane's going to have an effect on this one. So I would say stay away from betting this one. It looks like they like Florida International against New Mexico State. If you're betting Florida International at this point, I've got a lot of respect for you, seriously. Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, they love the over. I disagree with that, but I don't know. I would not bet that. They like Colorado. They like Colorado to cover. So, guys, another thing I've noticed with these models is kind of their unwillingness to admit a team is historically bad. Like, Colorado is so bad. Arizona's minus 18. If I had to bet in that game, I would bet Arizona to cover that spread, even after Arizona just lost to California. That's how bad Colorado is. It's the same thing with Florida International. It's like the computer, the AI, there's a lag to it. It doesn't realize how bad the team actually is, so it says to bet them because it's good value, when in reality they're just going to get crushed. And then it does like Arizona State heavily. Wow. A 12-point discrepancy. It has USC winning this game 35-21. And the under in that one. So those are just some major picks right there. The biggest discrepancies. Looks like the under is a major one in the Washington State-California game. The under 53. the UCF SMU under 65. It has Rutgers covering. Again, I would steer clear of that game. It doesn't understand just how good Ohio State's offense is. Likes the over in the Air Force Navy game, even with all the rushing. I wouldn't bet that personally. And then, guys, I think the bet of the week is UCLA, plus the 3.5. The line has kind of moved a little bit recently, but I really like the value in that. And then this game right here, the Boise State-San Diego State game, it likes the over. I would disagree completely. This is a situation where both offenses are so bad, we could be looking at like a 16 to 13 type game. I love the under 39 in that one. I do want to see what it says about the Michigan game. Michigan at Iowa, it likes the over. Yeah, see, I just don't see there being this many points scored. I'm sorry. How is Iowa's offense going to generate 18 points? Is Michigan really going to generate 4 touchdowns on the road at Iowa with J.J. McCarthy making his first road start? I find that hard to believe. I think this is a 23 to 13 type game. I would not bet Michigan minus 10.5. I would not bet Iowa plus 10.5. The only thing I would do is take the under. And then, guys, I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff that points to the Wisconsin-Illinois game being under. And it's 42 now. The line got bet down, but still under. There's been models that have graded that pick an A+. Take Wisconsin-Illinois, the under. And I also love Wisconsin on the money line if you're doing a parlay. I would be shocked if Wisconsin did not have a bounce-back week. They lost. They got crushed by Ohio State. That's still an offense that has an extremely talented running back. They're at home. But honestly, I think the best bet in that game is the under. It's just Illinois. They're a team with a good defense. They do have a good running back, but they can't really throw the ball. Wisconsin can't throw the ball. It's 11 a.m. Central. There are a lot of indicators that are pointing to that game being under. And then Oklahoma as well, minus the 6.5. Normally in the situations, it does have Oklahoma covering by 3.5. It's got them winning by 10. Situations like this, Oklahoma tends to really bounce back. We'll see with Brett Venables, but I've got a hunch that Brett Venables is going to have his defense angry. They're going to play well against a TCU team who's due for a loss. Remember, TCU is undefeated right now. I'm guessing they lose that game. Oregon State at Utah, I knew it. Guys, for my best bets, I was going to put Utah minus the 11. It's down to 10.5, I think. But a lot of people are in on Oregon State. That was kind of like the narrative right when the lines got released, like Oregon State is great value. I just think Utah's on a warpath right now. And Oregon State is coming off an emotional loss. They're really not a good defense. They had a good showing against USC. I respect it. But I think that was a little bit of an aberration. And they're going to get leveled on the road at Utah, in my opinion. Just looking at other games, I love the over in the Bowling Green Akron one. It agrees with me by 4.5 points. And that's pretty much it. Iowa State at Kansas. They like Iowa State to win that. Well, you really can't trust that if it's just a point. Do they like? Yeah, see, they like the under in the Penn State Northwestern game. The over-under is only 52. The only way, in my opinion, the Northwestern-Penn State game goes over is if Northwestern somehow scores in the double digits. Like 14 points or something like that. I mean, Northwestern's offense is so bad. Penn State is really not a team who has an explosive offense. They have kind of a safe offense with Sean Clifford. It would kind of be shocking if Penn State put up like 52 points or even like 48 points against Wisconsin. I think that game's got 37-7 written all over it, which would be the under 52 in that one. And then it always seems to like UL Lafayette, and it's actually got UL Lafayette winning this game outright as 9.5 point underdogs. I think that's just something that's messed up with the model overall. What about the rain games? Where's the rain game at? Did they take those off? Oh no, NC State, Clemson. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it can't predict weather, so it's going to love the over 42.5, but you have to take weather into account. And then the other game, was it a 3:30 game? I'm trying to find, there it is. Virginia Tech, North Carolina, it likes the over. I love the under in this game. There's going to be really bad weather in Chapel Hill at 3:30 on Saturday. The under, I don't know how it's getting bet up. It just makes no sense. You need to look at the radar. There's a major storm, guys. Take the under in that one. But this is the full predictions right here, the major games. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.